Last night, I asked you for a definition of death. Here is death, Doctor. Perfectly counterfeited. Death in life. And I would defy any medical authority on Earth to prove this man alive.
You instructed him to be dead?
Yes.
I don't like this, Max. Get him out of it.
Watch. Rigor mortis.
That's enough, Max. Bring him out. For heaven's sake, Max, bring him out. I don't know what you think you're trying to prove, but I know what you're doing. And you can't. Not to him, not to Amelia.
Don't know what you say. You can't believe that. You know me better, Miles.
I thought so. Now prove it.
There is nothing wrong with your podcatcher. Do not attempt to pause it. Welcome to a private recording about 3 separate anthology series, each a masterpiece in its own way. This is the dimension of gushing. It is an area we call the Sci-Fright Zone.
Welcome to the Sci-Fright Zone, where 2 fans of anthology series go through the Outer Limits, Night Gallery, and the Twilight Zone. I'm Diana.
And I'm Alisha.
We're finally back at Night Gallery, and this was your first time finally seeing the Night Gallery proper, because in the movie it was a much different vibe, but here it's a liminal, weird thing with floating paintings.
Yeah, the zooming in on old people faces thing was very strange.
Oh, you didn't like the opening?
No, I liked it. It was just really weird.
Get used to the roller coaster of Night Gallery. This is the one season where the opening is pure and not messed with. Next season they'll do the same opening and then saying things like, this episode has, and it'll talk about the celebrities that they've got for each episode.
Oh, hell yeah.
It kills the vibe a little, but yeah, we got the iconic intro, and then Rod Serling is in a giant, endless void of a art gallery.
Yeah, I like the weird liminal space art gallery thing. I think it looks cool.
I hope so, because that's what it will look like for the rest of the show.
Oh, good.
One thing I think Night Gallery does better than any of these other shows is its framing device of just being like an art gallery. You have to see Rod be somewhere and not just up against a wall, like in Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but I like when he was up against the wall in Twilight Zone. And, sometimes he would just be, in the scene, of the episode in Twilight Zone.
He would, but, they would do a thing where, sometimes it'd spin the camera and it would just transition to him against a wall. And I like that. You can see the seams.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the suggestion that Rod Serling is, a strange, omnipotent being in the Twilight Zone universe.
This was aired December 16th, 1970. Now we're introduced to the first Night Gallery TV segment, The Dead Man, which was written by Douglas Hees and directed by Douglas Hees.
I could not have guessed in a million years what this one was going to be about. I forgot what I predicted last time, but there's no way in hell it was not this.
No, this is a very out there concept. It was based on a short story by Fritz Leiber. I'm not too familiar with the short story, but
I never read it.
This is a very simple premise, and it's done really well, but
yeah.
I don't think there's too much more you could do with it.
It is. There's really impressive, makeup work. I mean, we'll get to all that, but yeah.
And as you said, this is very much 1970. I think Night Gallery, despite being the most modern of these shows we talk about, is the most dated in how it looks.
Yeah.
They really liked collars that look like that, and hair that look like that.
Beautiful 70s hair. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's just these episodes, the Night Gallery episodes, kind of are more grounded in the present time that they took place in. I mean, present when the show was out, But Twilight Zone was usually its own kind of retro futuristic kind of deal.
There was a lot of that, and from our modern perspective, decades removed, the early 60s was basically the 50s, in the 50s was kind of like the 40s. I don't feel like the 5 years between the end of Twilight Zone and the start of Night Gallery is like decades worth of fashion changes.
Yeah, and I think just the 70s in particular are just the look is particularly wild, I think. I mean, there's a lot of 70s fashion that looks cool.
Even Rod Serling looks a little...
It's like goofy, he has like goofy 70s hair now. Like, it's still Rod Serling's, but it's like 70s Rod Serling.
I really wish he would have grown like a handlebar moustache or something.
Oh, that would have been rad.
Rod Serling was clinging desperately to his old vibes, but he couldn't help but adjust to the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird seeing him without like the, I guess, more 50s, 60s hairstyle he had in Twilight Zone.
And yeah, just remember, this is like only a few years after Twilight Zone entered. It's just weird. He aged like 20 years in the span of 5. And it's wild. Pulling into The Dead Man, we see Dr. Miles Talmadge, and he's driving up to the gate of some kind of estate, because he has an invitation to see something that he doesn't even really know what it is. He just knows that it's, like, he was requested by a peer of his for something strange. And he's even brought suitcases with him, because this will be a multi-day trip, I guess.
Yeah, some kind of extended, I don't know, scientist doctor visit thing. Official term, I'm sure.
So this estate, owned by a doctor, only has one patient in there now. Because Dr. Max Redford gave up his entire practice just to spend time with this one single guy who is the titular dead man. Sorry, this episode's fucking wild. I'm
not really even sure how to start. Because even just watching the episode, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Redford asks Talmadge to basically give a diagnosis for this one man lying on, like, a surgical operation table.
Yeah, and he's like, it's just like a normal looking 70s man, I guess, just laying on the table, and he's so 70s.
Yeah, he's very 70s. He is the poster child for 1970, my god.
1970s pretty boy, I guess. But the doctor's like, I can't do a diagnosis on a perfectly healthy man, and he's very confused because for the guy just looks like a sleeping 70s man.
He has a pen in his hand, and he knocks it a couple times against a surface, and he asks Talmadge to look again. Talmadge then sees, suddenly, a lot of symptoms he didn't previously see. He thinks that this man is now dying from entopulmonosis, I believe is how it's pronounced.
I'm glad you had that written down.
I watched this episode 2 weeks ago, so forgive me.
That sounds right. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Now, Redford says, nah, you're wrong, and he knocks the pen again and asks him to double check. Talmadge then sees that the man no longer looks like he's dying to the same extent, but he's now all puffed up, he's blue-colored, he's swollen, so he's dying in a whole different way.
Yeah, he just went from, like, super emaciated to, like, super bloated and swollen.
Talmadge now says, oh, this looks like it's Wordland's disease, but he doesn't understand how it triggered so quickly, especially after a whole other condition, which itself came out of nowhere after the guy was perfectly healthy. But Redford does the same knocking with his pen and says to look again.
Yeah, and Talmadge is just like, dude, if you tell me to look again one more time, I swear to God. And the whole time, Redford just has this, like, he's just so gleeful. Like, his energy is so weird. He's just, like, so excited to be fucking with Talmadge in this way. It's really funny.
Like, you probably would too if you were in his situation. This is...
Honestly. Yeah.
This is how you demonstrate what's going on. Because you can't say that this is happening without a visual demonstration. No one would believe this.
Yeah, no, nobody would believe. Oh my god. But yeah, he taps his pin. He taps his pin again, and then like the guy goes back to normal.
And he stands up and introduces himself as John Fearing, and he looks incredibly healthy and 1970s-ish.
He could have done better with that spray tan.
He even asks the doctors what diseases was he doing, because he doesn't know. This is like a form of hypnosis, where he has this psychosomatically, he takes on diseases perfectly. His body recreates diseases through hypnosis because he is so susceptible to suggestion.
Yeah, and I think Redford said that like before, he kept showing up to the hospital claiming he had different diseases and exhibiting all the symptoms, and they were like, what the heck is going on?
Both his parents were also apparently they were kind of hypochondriacs, and I think it said they were emotionally unsound, which is a delicate way to put it for the 70s. It could have been a lot worse. So it seems like he inherited this superpower because of two parents that had lesser versions of what he had.
Yeah, like a super hypochondriac, I guess.
But Redford loves this because it basically means that you can study all these diseases and even do cures for them. Basically, you can basically just do all this shit without like harming people, and you got all this research in your house. Like this is basically a field day for any kind of doctor. He can do any disease, no matter how rare it is, no matter how incurable it is, and just fuck around with it. And it doesn't seem to cause any like ill effects to Fearing. He doesn't even know what's happening because he's like unconscious during it. And Fearing is happy to stay here because Dr. Redford has got a hot wife.
Oh my god.
And Redford is entirely, seemingly okay with what he knows is very open flirtation and probably worse, because like he's got this man to study. His only worry is he sometimes wants to harm this man, but he knows for the greater good that he can't. Even though he's like considered like, what if I horribly disfigure him?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Like, and there's like this really dramatic moment where he like turns to the window and is like, "Can you imagine what a lover he must be?" And I was like, "What?"
And now, if you go back in time a few years before this, they had to keep like married couples on TV in separate beds, because you can't even imply if they sleep in the same bed. And now here we are with hot 70s man fucking this dude's wife.
Can you just imagine how good this dude is at fucking my wife?
He's so good, I kind of want to disfigure him horribly so she won't sleep with him.
Yeah, because I think it was like thanks to the hypnosis or whatever, he's like super confident, and he presents as like this super healthy, super energetic, like super cool guy, I guess.
I can't imagine this actor playing any character who isn't super confident.
Yeah.
Like, I'm imagining the version of him that kept going to the hospitals because he was sick all the time.
Yeah. I can't
picture that version.
He's just such like a little golden boy. I don't know.
Redford's wife, Vila, is incredibly happy with this situation because she's got a new guest staying at the house, and they have all kinds of fun. Not even subtly. Like, they're very open about this.
Yeah, like, dang girl, tone it down. Jeez.
I'm sure she knows that he won't do anything. Or at least she thinks he won't do anything because of the scientific opportunity here. And I'm sure nothing bad will happen in this episode called The Dead Man.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I did not really enjoy her character very much.
Well, women have one personality trait, and it's being unfaithful.
I know. Well, it's not even that. It's just okay. Her like outfits and her hair, iconic. But like, I mean, we'll get into it more later. But she's just very over the top in a very strange way, I guess.
Yeah, later on, I think she's justified in some of her emotional outbursts. But at this point, yeah, she's She is like the fourth wheel to this episode.
Yeah, she's just kind of a lot.
This entire episode, both segments, is just what if women were unfaithful?
Right?
I think the writer needed some therapy.
I think so. He was going through some.
We cut to a later stage where John Fearing is once again lying on this gurney, or whatever it is, and Redford has once again, through the power of hypnosis, suggested that he die. So he can kind of like see basically how far this guy can go with his mimicry.
He's just like also kind of low-key hopeful that he can use this power on other people to like make them immortal, maybe, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, he basically thinks that if this could be applied to anyone else, you could cure any disease and maybe even cure death. You know, it's interesting. I don't know how scientifically plausible this is. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, maybe... I think doctors are actually doing this right now, but Big Pharma won't tell us.
Yeah, they're just putting hundreds of handsome 70s men into hypnotic states.
Yeah, it only works on handsome 70s men.
Yeah, that's the one problem. If we could just get over that speed bump, you know.
Like, the actor for him looks so recognizable. I was like, I swear he's been in other things, but no, he just looks like the 1970s.
Yeah, I think he just has like one of those, I don't know, 70s handsome man generic faces. Because I swear I thought I recognized him for something. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things.
I hate to invoke the words of AI, but I feel like he is what you'd get if you asked an AI image generation thing to make a 1970s man.
Yeah.
he just looks like that. Like he is just what you'd get. He doesn't feel real.
Yeah, there's something I feel mean. There's just something uncanny about him. I think it's the spray tan, dude.
I love him.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, spray tan, his hair, his whole demeanor, his character feels like so lovable and nice.
Yeah.
It's weird. He's the scariest part of the episode because it just doesn't feel normal.
Yeah, there's just something off about that guy. And I mean, I guess there is.
I think Rod Serling actually created a man out of like clay or something, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
The now dead Fearing has no pulse. He's now displaying rigor mortis. And Dr. Talmadge is yelling at Dr. Redford saying, "You can't do this. This is incredibly morally wrong."
Yeah, bring him back. Stop it.
He just watched a doctor basically kill a man.
Yeah.
Just to see if he could.
Which
this isn't okay.
Yeah, that's not great, dude. Redford, come on.
Yeah. Redford does his knocking trick again to revive him, but it doesn't work. He keeps doing it frantically. He's panicking, and no matter what he does, this man is still dead. He had like a golden goose.
Yeah.
And he killed him.
Pour one out.
So, like, not only are the two doctor leads watching this dead man, Vila, the wife,
oh god,
is also there because they were doing all this with an open door for some reason.
Oh my.
She saw this and is crying because her lover was killed. And
again,
even if it wasn't a lover, just this would still be fucked up.
Yeah.
In like a non-cheating way.
And she's just like, with collapses upon his body, just wails of grief. Not subtle at all, girl. Like,
yeah, I think I know which man she preferred.
Yeah. And she's just like, oh, well, you killed him. And then she's like screaming and crying, and it's a lot.
There's a cut in time. It doesn't. I don't know how much further it is, but we see a whole series of doctors walk out of that room defeated.
Yeah.
They tried everything they could to revive this man, and nothing worked, and Vila is distraught.
Yeah, and she's like, oh no, he did it on purpose. And she's freaking out because she thinks, Redford's a monster, and Talmadge is like, listen, I can promise you he did, like, everything he could. Like, everything. Like, they cut him open, tried to massage his heart, like, yeah. And she's just like, oh, great. So he killed him, and then he cut him up.
Like, this is basically her husband killing her lover. So, this isn't a great situation for her. We now cut to a funeral. Vila is continuing to be overly emotional. She's her acting. I love her, but she is camping it up a bit.
Yeah, she's got this dramatic mourning veil over her body, and and Redford's like, "Hey, how about you drive Vila home to Talmadge?" And Talmadge tries to be like, "Hey, let's drive you home," and she's like, "No, I'll walk. It's just over the hill. I'm used to being alone. I'm always alone," and it's very dramatic. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty iconic." But
also, Redford's big mansion is next to a cemetery.
yeah,
So I don't think she needed the drive.
yeah,
It's a reasonable amount of walking.
yeah. She's gonna be fine. Is up a hill. So she just walks off dramatically through the cemetery, and I'm like, "Honey, are you even walking towards your house? Does someone need to spin you around?"
It's now sometime later. This episode has lots of cuts in time, I'm starting to realize. Vila is still distraught, hasn't talked to her husband, but Talmadge has come back to the mansion because he's been called for again. But it's now because Redford wants to move away with his wife and live a happier life away from, the cemetery. Basically treat her the way he wants to treat her.
Yeah, he's like, maybe she'll come out of her darkness if I take her somewhere in the sun.
Yeah, she'll meet another handsome 70s man.
Yeah. And he'll just be like, "Oh, dang it."
But Redford leaves all of his medical research and tapes to Talmadge. Basically, it's twofold. He doesn't want this to go to waste, but he is convinced that on a subconscious level, he killed the man, and, he basically wants Talmadge to look into all the research and determine his innocence or guilt one way or the other. Because he can't do it himself. Talmadge is listening to all this in, a lovely study. He's basically...
He's chilling.
He's chilling, it's great, and clearly nothing of note has happened until he gets to the bit about the hypnosis that kills you.
The hypnosis that kills you.
That's what this episode is, and this is the most realistic of the two plot devices in these two segments.
Yeah, so look forward to the next segment.
But he finds out that Redford had, his method to revive you again, but it was different to what he actually did when trying to revive him. It was a different number of knocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did what was it? He went knock, 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 pause, knock, but it was supposed to be knock, 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 pause, to knock.
And in all his panic of trying to do it, he kept fucking it up every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So this would seem to be a subconscious desire to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or he is incredibly forgetful.
And he's convinced he did it right. It's his brain is lying to him.
Subconsciously, he wants to do the right thing, but he also just wants to kill this man.
Yeah, he super wanted to kill that poor 70s man. Super wanted to kill him.
Once again, Vila's main plot importance is being right next to someone when they discover something horrible.
Yeah.
That's all she does. She overheard all this and runs to the next door cemetery to do the correct number of knocks.
The entire time she is just screaming, fleeing through the night, screaming. Her 70s nightgown is billowing everywhere. It's so I cracked up at that part. I felt bad, but oh fuck.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm on her side more than Redford's.
No, I'm on her side too, but it's just oh my god, girl.
All she does is just appear to listen in on things and freak out.
Yeah.
If this was a different kind of episode, it would be about the mysterious teleporting woman.
Yeah. Who's just always there to, at opportune moments overhear something terrible.
Especially for a woman that, ignored her husband so much during this time.
Yeah.
So, she was clearly okay being alone, but once another man set foot in there,
yeah,
she was just, eavesdropping.
Oh my god, I was cackling. I felt bad, but it was just so dramatic.
Yeah, but now she's running to the cemetery. Dr. Talmadge is running to the cemetery to kind of like stop her, and Dr. Redford is as well. And all three characters now know the correct method, in theory, to revive this man, or like what could have revived this man, days ago, weeks ago, however long ago this was.
Mm-hmm.
And Vila is desperate to do the knocks to bring him back to life.
Yeah, she like dramatically, like his grave is so strange because it's like a coffin and like a little mausoleum shelf, but it's just like closed up behind some gates, and she like pulls them open and just starts banging on the coffin, losing her shit.
Like, I don't know if I love or hate her acting, but it's memorable.
It's something. I have no idea.
She's giving it all. She came in with 110% energy, and
I'm not sure what she's giving me, but like I got it.
During this whole chase scene with the cemetery, the music really goes hard here.
It goes so hard. It's crazy. This whole scene is just nuts, dude.
Yeah, this goes in the Night Gallery Hall of Fame, just like this 1 minute of stuff.
It's good shit.
She opens the coffin and does the knock properly, and then it fades to black, and then we fade in again. Talmadge has now arrived at this coffin mausoleum thing, and he can see everything. Vila is in the corner, horrified at something, and we can see Dr. Redford is now dead, lying over the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is being strangled, or he had been strangled, by a very dead Feely. Feely has rotted away.
Yeah.
He's disgusting looking.
Oh, it's her.
He has a smile on his face, and he strangled this man.
Yeah, it was honestly like, I was like, oh shit, are they gonna show him? Because I thought maybe they were gonna do like, in the movie. Oh shit, what was the first one called with Portafoy?
That was called The Cemetery.
The Cemetery, I'm so sorry.
Which is also what you could call this episode.
Yeah, right?
Both episodes about people that live next to cemeteries.
Yeah. Like, you never, it's evil nephew is walking up to the house and is gonna get Portafoy, but they open the door and it's a fade to black. You never see, like, this scary zombie body. But this one, oh my god, like, it's honestly, like, really it was pretty fucking effective. It was scary.
Since you found it so effective, it's time for us to rank what we think of the dead man.
Oh.
And I am torn. There are 2 letters I want to give it. I think I'll be slightly meaner today and give it a B. But what do you think?
This one is like so weird. It's like,
I think it's a bit inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree. No,
it's atmospheric as well. It's
like the premise kind of, it's a cool premise, but it also doesn't make any sense. And I'm fine with that.
We'll get used to that.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Like,
that's Night Gallery's specialty.
Yeah, like, shit doesn't have to make sense to be good. Like, sometimes it's a weird premise, you go along with it for a good story. Like, it was really fun. But there are parts of it that just, like, got on my nerve. Okay, mostly it was Velia. What's her name? I heard, like, 3 different names.
So in this episode, she was called Vila, but in the short story, she was called Velda.
Elda.
And I find that really interesting because even my subtitles on the official Blu-ray for this still call her Velda.
Really? That is...
So I don't know if, like, the subtitle took inspiration from the short story, or if you can spell the name Vila with a D in it.
I don't know.
But I just find it interesting. Because other sources I look up online, less accurate sources spell Vila E-I-L. But according to the short story, it's ELD.
Huh.
So, I don't know.
I couldn't...
She has 2 names.
Yeah, I watched this on the Internet Archive, and I couldn't figure out how to turn on the subtitles, but now I wish I would have, because then I could have reported my findings. Vila's character was just so much. All the yelling and the screaming, and I'm just so torn on this one, because I do think it was a lot of fun. I think it was good. I'd probably give it a B2, honestly. There are just things about it that are kind of awkward. Like the editing was it jumped around a lot.
Except for the music. The music is the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, the music was fucking incredible, but I just remember the cut between them, like John getting up and then them going to dinner was just super abrupt, and then it cut away from dinner really fast. Yeah, it was just stuff like that. It was like little things that kind of added up, I guess.
It's interesting because this episode was written and directed by the same guy.
Yeah.
So usually that's like, you can get some really good stuff with that, but also, you know, as we'll find out in a minute, this guy was busy at this point in time.
Ooh.
So maybe he was a little...
Yeah.
He had a lot of stuff going on. But I'm glad you liked this one.
Sorry, the ending was so strong, though. Like, I don't know. I guess it kind of all came together in the end. There were just things about it.
Yeah, you also summed up our second episode just by saying that.
Yeah.
From what I've seen online, The Dead Man is universally considered a really good episode. People say when you watch this episode, just watch The Dead Man. You don't even have to watch the second segment.
That is heresy. Do not skip the second one. The second one is so good.
Okay, good. I was worried that I would be coming in loving the second segment, and you'd be like everyone else being like, no, it's not that good.
No, I love this.
I have seen the second episode repeatedly called a comedy episode, and I'm just thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, what? Okay, the second segment, I know we're about to talk about it. It's very strange, but I wouldn't call it a comedy episode.
I get it's technically the funnier of these 2 segments.
Yeah, it's the more light.
One of them is about a dead man.
Yeah.
But we have The Housekeeper, and this episode was written by Matthew Howard. That's actually a lie. That is the pseudonym for Douglas Hayes. So the man that wrote and directed The Dead Man also wrote The Housekeeper, but didn't credit himself as the writer.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Maybe to make Night Gallery look like it had more writers.
Oh, maybe?
And it was directed by John Meredith. But I don't know why they did this. Some think it might have been like sabotage from people working for Night Gallery against Rod Serling.
Mm-hmm.
But in the very first episode of Rod Serling's Night Gallery, and it is called Rod Serling's Night Gallery when you look at the intro, Rod Serling didn't write either of these 2 segments. He will write a bunch.
Yeah.
But for right now, they're just like, no, we'll start with the other guy.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's really fucking weird.
But here, we meet the wonderful Miss Wattle, sorry. Miss Wattle she's a housekeeper, but she hasn't worked for a while because she is basically repeatedly dumped on.
Yeah. And I do not get it. Like, they keep calling her, like, ugly and old and frumpy. I'm like, she's just an adorable little old lady. You guys are mean.
I love her.
Yeah.
She clearly works for some kind of agency, and she's talking to the person at the agency, and they're like, someone has specifically requested someone just like you. A funny-looking lady with a good heart. And she's like, yeah, that's me. I'm an old, funny-looking lady. And then it's like, oh no, it keeps going.
Oh, God.
I specifically want someone that no one else would want. An old hag. Someone whose chances of getting a job with anyone else would be absolutely sub-zero. And she still has a smile on her face the whole time. She's happy despite the abuse.
I'm just like, Mrs. Waddle, you do not have to take this shit. value yourself.
And I think this is probably the most comedic part of the episode. Like, if you think this is a comedy episode, you turned it off after a minute.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to show that she's like, she's super sweet and she doesn't let that kind of thing get to her because it's like, well, can't change it, whatever.
Yeah, and in the grand plan of this, in the whole episode scheme, it's also someone that would have, like, no loved ones inquiring about them. He basically wants someone that, no one would look into if they mysteriously disappeared or something.
And Mrs. Waddle, that should be a giant, giant red flag for you.
Also, it's only Miss Waddle, because she's not even married. No one loves her.
Oh, Miss Waddle, you're so right. Yeah, okay. That's kind of an important part.
Yeah, no one loves her. She's an old hag. She doesn't care. She takes no offense to this. She's so happy. And she gets the job working for Cedric, who is this rich man who he basically hired her under false pretenses because he doesn't need a housekeeper. He's like, my wife, she fucking sucks. Look at my wife. Look at all the men she's with. I kind of hate her.
Yeah, he takes Miss Waddle to like this super fancy restaurant. And he's like, oh yeah, that's my bitch wife over there stepping out on me with her little gentleman collar. And he calls her like a shriveled peanut in like a beautiful shell. He's got some weird ass vibes like this whole episode.
He's also like, hey, Miss Waddle, don't you feel jealous that you're not a pretty young woman like her? Don't you hate being disgusting, old, unloved?
And like she's just like a cute little old lady. Like it's
this episode's funny to talk about, but it is disturbing if you actually watch it. This is just a horrible man.
Yeah, and he's just like, doesn't it suck just being so hideously ugly? Like, wouldn't you want to be in the beautiful shell with your beautiful heart? And it's like, oh no. Oh god.
He says that his wife's body is like a goddess.
But her personality and her soul, it's just bleh.
And not only that, his rich bitch wife that he hates, she has $7 million, which I'm sure is worth a lot more decades removed, but even I still say $7 million is quite a decent amount now.
Yeah, that's a shit ton.
But like back then, that's enough money to build a colony on the moon. Probably that's so much.
I'm gonna look it up. Oh god, yeah, that's like 58 million in 2026. Yeah, that's a shit ton of money.
Well, she's got this money, but she is selfish and cruel. But if she leaves Cedric won't have any money anymore.
Yeah,
that's the worst crime of all.
She's gonna take him to the cleaners, steal all of his money in the divorce.
So, he doesn't want women to have agency.
Hell no.
So, he's basically saying, hey, what would you give to change places with her? You should be the one to, and this is a direct quote, the way he's like objectifying her.
Yeah.
You should be the one to occupy that magnificent edifice, and she should be there inside that run-down old hovel of yours.
And the whole time, Miss Waddle is just like, oh, you... Like, she is not reacting to this man the way she should be. She's just like, oh, it doesn't do to dwell on such things. And I'm like, Miss Waddle, get the fuck out of there.
She also doesn't know that she's, like, the main character of, a night gallery segment.
Yeah.
If someone took me out to a nice restaurant and said some uncomfortable stuff, I'd probably at least finish the meal and leave, depending on how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah.
She...
Like, if a dude hits you with, I want to put you in my wife, you should probably get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah, she says it's not possible, and he says it is. He's developed a mind transplant procedure. And we see that he's got a lab in his mansion that is filled with that is filled with animals that make the wrong noises. Like, there's a dog that sounds like a bird.
Yeah. In this lab, it does not look like a modern 70s lab or whatever. It looks like a fucking medieval dungeon.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this in your beautiful, pristine mansion?
It's, it's fucked up. He's clearly not... If you hadn't got the memo by this stage, he's not an ethical scientist.
No.
He's a little problematic.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to cancel Cedric here.
Yeah, he talks about how a jumping frog is the catalyst for the procedure, and then he talks about the importance of a jumping frog in, like, ancient Egyptian law. I looked it up, and the stuff he quotes is inaccurate as well, so that's great. At this stage, in the disgusting, ancient-looking lab that he's got, Miss Waddle kind of gets the idea of, oh, Cedric might be a little weird, might be a little problematic, and she wants to leave.
Yeah, this is where she draws the line.
He convinces her to stay by saying that he will make her young and rich. And also, more importantly, if she switches places with the wife, she can still divorce Cedric and live her life as she wishes. He just wants to do a noble act for her.
Yeah, but he does also throw out there that he would be willing to stay married.
Oh yeah, he's got a type. We get to see his wife, Carlotta, finally from, like, up close and not at the distance being hit on by a bunch of men. And she demands Miss Waffle leave. Can you believe it? She's being incredibly cruel. I bet there's nothing else going on here to justify why she's like this.
No, nothing at all. She's just like, how dare you hire somebody without talking to me?
With her money, so she has a point. He talks to Waffle. Sorry, he talks to Waddle. My handwriting sucks. He talks to Waddle and tells her to go to her room while he'll deal with his wife. He also tells her about this photo of his wife and to constantly stare at it, concentrate on it as hard as you can.
Yeah, for like an hour and a half.
Come down to, I think, like, the library of the study. Come down to the specific room at the specific time while concentrating. It's very strange. And she's still putting up with it for some reason. I would have left.
Yeah, like, I guess she was convinced that she wants to be a hot lady. I don't know. I would have got the heck out of there.
A hot, rich lady. The rich thing probably helped. Now, while Waddle is upstairs concentrating, Cedric is with his wife, and she is yelling at him, saying that this is like the last straw. She is so sick of Cedric painting her to look cruel, basically making her appear to be this heartless creature that she's not. She tells him to leave. She's put up with him enough.
And she also mentions that the money, like, the whole episode, Cedric makes it sound like it's his money that she's going to be getting from him in the divorce. But it turns out it is her money, and she married him. So, like, it was her money originally.
He won't get a cent of her $7 million.
Mm-hmm.
She has basically won. Except he pulls out a little frog.
Oh my god.
And Carlotta is like backing away, like, hey, don't do this, don't pull out a frog.
Yeah, I think oh my god, what does she yell? She's like, he has a frog on him.
She would know what is happening. That's the thing. At the time, when you're first watching this, you're just thinking, like, she doesn't like frogs.
Yeah.
But no, this is an episode that it lingers with you more when you think back to it after seeing the twist ending. Spoilers. This episode, I think, is a lot better on a rewatch as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can see that.
Everyone that's mean to it has to rewatch it.
That's the law.
She's backing away from the frog, but Miss Waddle walks in carrying the picture of Cedric's wife, looking at her, and then the screen changes colors. And now their characters have mind transplanted. And we
Mhm.
know this because their voices go with them.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah,
And then, like, right after, Cedric gets this big ass syringe with some red killing juice in it, and like just stabs it into bitch wife and Miss Waddle's body and just then kills her.
not only that, we see it from like a kind of first person point of view
Yeah.
of him walking closer and closer with the syringe, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And then Miss Waddle's like, "Oh no, I did not know he was going to do that. I'm so sorry."
The hot, young, rich Miss Waddle now. Yeah, she didn't know that this was going to happen.
No.
Like, to this extent that he was basically going to kill her so horribly.
Yeah.
After... I don't think she thought through the implications of what was happening.
No.
She hates that this has happened. And she is like, hey, you're a terrible man, Cedric. I think I just want to leave. Because I don't, like, want to be with you right now. And Cedric is, like, cornering her up, being like, no, you're my wife now. Let's be intimate.
Yeah, it's really fucking creepy. He, like, chases her up the stairs, and it's like, our bedroom's up there. And she's like, that's no way to treat a lady. And he's like, you're not a lady. You're my wife. And it's just like, I guess this is what he's into, old lady spirits in a hot young lady body.
She, like, locks herself in the bedroom away from him and grabs a candlestick as a weapon to protect herself.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Yeah, this is like a really dark story, and I don't know why people are saying this is a comedy. I get, like, but people think this is the weaker episode and it's, like, too silly. And I'm just like, no, there's a frog. The frog is silly.
Yeah, they're, like, silly.
But
There's silly elements in it, but, like, the story itself is, ugh.
This is a much more horrifying, scary thing when you think about it.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, especially for 1970 on TV.
Yeah. But yeah, she basically, like, locks herself up for, like, 3 days, and he keeps trying to coax her out.
He even says that he wants her to feel like a woman. Yeah, everything Cedric has done is
The worst guy.
horrible.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we can go on a trip together. Blue, 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 blue. And it's just like, oh, do not go anywhere with this man.
This man, I'm going to try to keep an eye out when I rewatch Night Gallery, but this man is probably one of the more horrible villains when you think about it.
He's really
series.
gross, yeah.
He's also, like, he's more down-to-earth gross. He's the kind of guy that, like, you could just see on the street. You'd probably pass by people every day that have done these frog mind transplants.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know it. He's just a normal guy that's fucked up and horrible, and he really seems to not like women.
Yeah, like, you never know when some guy on the street might just pull out a frog, you know?
Just make sure you don't have any pictures of yourself hung up so that someone can concentrate on it.
But yeah, I think just, like, a creepy, gross guy who feels extremely entitled to women.
He's also, like, an attractive, confident kind of guy. Like, they picked basically just a normal TV guy. If you watch this episode on mute, you probably wouldn't realize he's a villain.
Yeah. But, oh my god, yeah, the guy who plays Cedric, he's just, like, the creepiest motherfucker ever. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, and I'll get to that soon, because that is not a usual role for him. But,
oh, I did not know.
Miss Waddle, hot young Miss Waddle, she leaves the room and says that I'm divorcing you. You won't get a cent because you're such a terrible person for what you've done.
Yeah, she's like, I feel like I owe that to your previous wife. Keep her money.
But Cedric is like, okay, can you still come into this room for a second? And she's like, fine, I'll give you a second. And he's in there, and he pulls out a frog. And another old lady walks in the door.
Yep.
And while this is happening, Miss Waddle, in the new person's body, says, how many times?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, until we get it right.
Oh, yep, and that's where it ends.
Yeah, so that's our fun comedy segment. Not only do some of the reviews I saw on the internet say it's a comedy episode, the audio commentary for this episode on the Blu-rays even says it's like a funny segment. So I'm confused. Maybe they watched a different version than I did.
Maybe? I mean, do they just think calling an old woman ugly is just the height of comedy? Like,
It's time to review this, and it's your turn. What do you think?
Oh, okay. So this is like another one where I think overall it's like a really good story and a really horrifying premise. It's just like there's a couple of, it's got some weird.
The ending carries this.
I think so too. I mean, kind of like the last one, because that twist is really good, and it's like, oh my god, he's probably done this like dozens of times, if not more. Like, where did the like, yeah, like how long ago did the original lady who was in that body, like, how long's it been since she was gotten rid of? It's really spooky. But it's just like stuff like the weird medieval dungeon and the frog thing. I mean, I love that shit. I thought it was cool. It's just, I guess, some littler things that kind of, I don't want to say take away from the horror of it, but just are kind of goofy, But I mean, overall,
yeah, it was sometimes a goofy episode, but
yeah, but I would not call it a comedy episode.
If it's a comedy episode, it's probably the best comedy episode I would say of this, because this actually is good. Night Gallery's comedy episodes are usually the weakest.
Yeah.
Just like the Twilight Zone.
I probably, oh, this is so hard. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you have to go first.
No, it's okay.
That's how turns work.
Yeah, I unfortunately. I'd probably give it an A, honestly. I really liked it, even with all the weird little things about it.
I am incredibly happy because, just, so you guys have an understanding of how I do with this. When I watch an episode, a second I finish watching it, I already write down what I'm going to rank it, just so then I have it fresh in my mind. And when I watched this episode, most recently, like 2 weeks ago, I wrote A. I'm giving it an A as well. And I have spent the last couple weeks wondering, am I an outlier for thinking this? Is no one else going to feel the same way?
No,
Is Alisha going to call me stupid for giving what is clearly a C-grade episode such a high ranking?
Oh, it was not like, I mean, I love...
Everyone else thinks it is.
That's stupid. I mean, I do love weird, campy shit, and, like, if something's got, like, a little bit of goofiness in it, like, one of my favorite games is Deadly Premonition, like, but yeah.
And you love Twin Peaks.
And I love Twin Peaks. So, like, I just kind of inherently don't mind some weird goofiness in a story. Like, I love that shit. But I just thought this was the stronger segment, I guess. I thought it was more consistent.
Yeah, and we both agreed. We both gave The Dead Man a B and The Housekeeper an A, which is the first time that we've really agreed since The Galaxy Being, which we both gave a B.
I know! That's so exciting.
Before we go any further, I just want to remind everyone that we are on Blue Sky at sci-frightzone.bsky.social, and my personal account is at freezer.bsky.social.
Yeah, and I'm Birdwoman at geekcritique.org.
One of the very few to have that name. Prestigious.
It's nepotism because I'm married to the Geek Critique.
You're like the Kennedys of Blue Sky.
I don't know about that.
Hopefully with longer lifespans.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
It sucks that the one Kennedy that lived forever is the one that sucks the most, I mean.
Yeah, right? He's the one who sucks like, even the other Kennedys say that guy sucks. Like,
I just want to get into some of the more behind-the-scenes stuff here.
Yeah.
So the theme music for Night Gallery, you got to witness it in its beautiful glory, enjoy it until season 3 replaces it with something much worse.
No, I love the weird synthy music.
This might be the earliest electronic theme for TV.
Really? That's really cool.
We don't know if it definitely is, because records, are kind of spotty.
Yeah.
Especially if we're talking about TV globally.
Oh god,
but
yeah.
this would be, if not the first, one of the first. This is incredibly early for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the theme music was made from instruments built by the composer.
What? That's
So he basically
cool.
made the shit himself.
That rules. I love that shit.
Yeah, it was done by Gil Millet. Great theme song, honestly. Like, it's weird. This is...
Yeah. I liked it.
It's a very 1970 intro, but
yes.
it fucks.
Oh yeah, it goes hard.
I was mentioning that Douglas Hayes was the guy that wrote both these segments, and he directed the first one. He is a guy that will appear in The Twilight Zone quite a bit as a director.
Oh, cool.
He directed some great episodes, some of my personal favorites. He directed 9 in total, but the highlights that I bothered to write down were And When the Sky Was Opened, Elegy, and most famously, Eye of the Beholder.
Oh, the ugliest prettiest ugly one?
The ugly one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Eye
damn.
of the Beholder. He directed that episode.
Oh, that rules.
And the other 2 episodes are in season 1, which we'll get to soon enough.
Oh, yeah.
But they're probably A episodes. Sorry to spoil it. Watch me rewatch them and think they're dog shit. But from memory, they're some of my favorites of the first season.
Yeah.
He is a great director.
Mm-hmm.
And something you'll notice with Night Gallery, when it comes to The Twilight Zone, Rod Serling basically wrote almost every episode, with some exceptions.
Yeah.
Night Gallery, he is a very regular writer, but other writers have more of a hand in the show.
Yeah, I could definitely tell these episodes weren't written by Rod Serling. He has like a very, very like idiosyncratic style, I guess.
Yeah, if you ignore Vila, everyone acted like humans.
Yeah. No, they act like humans, I think. It's just they're very like verbose. Like his prose is just
They don't speak like humans.
Yeah, they don't speak like humans. But like in a way I like.
Miss Wattle, she was a regular, more conventionally attractive actress under very heavy makeup. And it would take hours each day to make her look like that.
I thought like her nose looked like a prosthetic.
Her nose, yeah. The nose is like the one thing, but I think they did pretty good.
Yeah, like other than that,
it looked good.
It looked really believable. Like, it didn't look weird.
Yeah, and I'm sure it would look even better in standard definition on an old TV.
You wouldn't be able to tell as much.
When this episode was in production, it was originally going to be the Housekeeper first, and then the Dead Man second, and they only changed it to this order at the very last minute. The people making the show thought The Dead Man was the better of the 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And they wanted it to start off incredibly strong.
Cowards.
And because they did it at the last minute, it took lots of work to make the editing work, because Rod had already recorded his intros where he like introduces the Night Gallery and then goes to The Dead Man.
Yeah.
And
they had to change it.
They had to change all that in post. And the music was already composed.
Oh, that
and they
sucks.
they did all this work, and it's seamless. You wouldn't even know that there was that much like messing around behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Night Gallery, the TV show, has a new artist. So the guy who did the paintings for the movie is not the guy doing the paintings for the show. Every single painting you will see in Night Gallery, the TV show, is done by the same artist doing different styles. Because he's trying to mimic what would look like a real gallery with lots of different artists. So this was done by Tom Wright.
Yeah, I thought the introductory paintings were like really cool. Like the one for the housemaid was like kind of fucked up looking. It was cool.
Yeah, he does every painting, and even the really shitty, here's like a 2-minute sketch that sucks, will get its own full painting. Like, genuinely, This guy goes so hard. Every painting is good.
That rules.
They all look distinct, unique. Some of them are very interpretive and
Yeah.
don't really look like anything, but then it makes sense within the like what the story's about.
Yeah.
But they're all fascinating.
Yeah, I think the one for the housemaid was like that. Really abstract.
What would happen is Tom would read the script, or if it's an adaptation, he would read the source material.
Ah.
Then he would sketch like 2 or 3 different ideas.
Dude.
He would then show these to Jack Laird, who is the other non-Rod Serling guy in charge of the show, the more infamous of the two.
Yeah.
Jack would pick his favorite, and then Tom would paint that version based on whichever version Jack liked the most.
That's so cool.
Rod Serling would then be sent a Polaroid of what the painting is, and he would write his introductions based on that.
That's really cool.
It's this multi-step thing, and it's fascinating. And this guy, like, not only has to paint, like, 2 or 3 different paintings for, like, every episode.
Yeah.
He does sketches that don't even make it to air, and it's like, unbelievable.
Yeah, that's so much, like, work for something that's kind of a small detail. I mean, I know it's the night gallery, like, the paintings are an important part of it, you know, to introduce the episodes, but still, it's not like you see them that long.
Also, just to praise Tom, the artist, even more, I mentioned earlier that when the show was in syndication, they would get another episode of another show that was like 40 minutes long, cut it down to 20 minutes, and then cram it into Night Gallery so then Night Gallery could have enough episodes for syndication. It's a mess.
Oh, that sucks.
That is awful, and these episodes are not preserved outside of like old tape copies that fans would have made.
Yeah.
Despite that, Tom Wright painted paintings for each of those, and Rod Serling would introduce them
Oh my
for
god.
reruns.
What a fucking
So yeah,
hero.
there's a whole set of extra paintings that aren't even like official Night Gallery ones.
That's such a shame though, because really, like, you've shown me some more paintings from other Night Gallery episodes before we started doing the podcast, and they're really, that's like, there's some cool shit in there. I wonder if you can like buy prints of them somewhere, because I would totally hang those up.
For some reason, my mind immediately went to one that is really uncomfortable. The kind of like robot sex slave episode.
Oh god. No, I don't want to put that one on my wall.
Yeah, because the robot is distraught and doesn't want to do it.
Oh. Oh.
Night Gallery is a darker beast than the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and the Twilight Zone could get pretty dang dark.
Yeah, we don't have as much levity here, but speaking of dark, that moment where it says, "Till we get it right" at the end of the Housekeeper, that wasn't in the script originally.
Really?
They thought the episode kind of didn't end with a proper bang. So they put that in very late, and, like, I'm glad. I honestly think, "Till we get it right," that one line is what makes this episode an A. It is such a good
Yeah,
thing.
it's so good. Yeah, that was a good ass call.
Like, if they didn't have that, like, you wouldn't have any, like, you could probably theorize that, oh, this has happened multiple times, but they explicitly tell you
Yeah.
that this is a repeating cycle. That's horrific.
Yeah, it really lets you just like think back on the episode and just be even more fucked up about it.
Think of how many dead old ladies are buried in that backyard.
I know, and it's always old ladies. Like, what's your fucking deal, man?
He wants people no one would love or miss.
Yeah, but it's just weird that it's like specifically old ladies, because there have to be like younger women who maybe aren't as stereotypically attractive and don't have so many connections, but it's always the old lady. It's just weird. Like, this is just what he's into.
Well, he wants, like, everyone wants a mummy.
Ah, gross. He wants a grandmother wife.
Yeah, he definitely had a kink.
Yeah.
This episode probably awoke some weird kinks in people. Being like, oh, I guess I like that too, actually.
Some very specific kinks.
Unfortunately, we have no hat tricks this time, even by technicality.
Aw, boo.
But there are 5 actors that I want to point out who are all interesting. And the most important is, in the restaurant, in the Housekeeper, there's a cockatoo that's in a birdcage.
I remember him. I loved him.
We don't know which of the two it is, but he was either Lala or Weird Harold, who are cockatoo actors that played the character Fred.
Weird
the
Harold?
cockatoo. That was its name.
Oh my god!
They played Fred, the cockatoo, in the show Boretta, which is a crime drama about a detective who has a pet cockatoo.
That's incredible! I didn't know we were dealing with famous cockatoo.
Yeah, Lala or Weird Harold, the 2 best names for a bird you've ever seen.
Weird Harold! I love Weird Harold! Oh my god.
If you can believe it, these birds are not listed on IMDb. That is
Justice.
Straight from the audio commentary.
Justice for Lala and Weird Harold.
You have to support physical media so you can find out about Lala or Weird Harold.
Oh my god! Oh man. I want to get another cat and name it Weird Harold.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh no.
Now, we were talking about Cedric. Did you recognize this actor at all?
I did not. I don't think I recognized him from anything.
He normally does not have a beard. He grew a beard for this role because he wanted to be different from his normal... He's normally a more loving, happy husband because he is Major Nelson in I Dream of Jeannie.
What, really? Oh my god.
He's the husband in that. Yep, he's that guy.
Oh.
The loving NASA and Major from I Dream of Jeannie. That's him being the most monstrous piece of shit in the world. He played that for 139 episodes. And you might think, wow, that's his longest serving role. You'd be fucking wrong.
Oh my
because he was on Dallas as JR for 356 episodes.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah. So he is a very prolific actor for TV.
Yeah, dang. Dude. Yeah, I did not recognize him at all.
Someone that you probably wouldn't have recognized because of horrible Hollywood practices. Jeff Corey was the actor that played Miles Talmadge. We will see him later in The Outer Limits in an episode, but he was blacklisted from Hollywood for over a decade because he would not give names to the House on Un-American Activities.
Oh
he
my
would not
god.
rat out anyone.
Fucking king shit.
Not only that, he opened up an acting workshop and he taught lots of celebrities on how to act. And the list is giant, but I wrote down just some of the names. He taught Kirk Douglas, Jack Nicholson, Robin Williams, James Dean, Jane Fonda, Bruce Lee, Leonard Nimoy,
the fuck?
Rob Reiner, and, most importantly, he taught James Hong, the actor we talked about
oh my god.
last time on The Outer Limits.
How do the coolest guys just always end up in Rod Serling joints? That's so cool. But yeah, I had no idea.
He's a great actor, and he might have had a bigger acting career if McCarthyism didn't happen, so that's fun.
But that's so cool. He wouldn't sell anybody out. That rules.
I also want to point out that Cedric's wife, Carlotta, she was played by Susie Parker. She was also in a Twilight Zone episode about beauty. Number 12 Looks Just Like You, if you remember that. But this episode of Night Gallery was her last acting role before she retired. She didn't die or anything for a while. She lived until 2003, but she just retired to have a nice life.
Oh, well, that's good.
And I also just want to mention, finally, the queen of this episode, Vila.
Mm-hmm.
She was played by Louise Sorrell, and she is most famous for Days of Our Lives.
Oh, of course.
where she has played Vivian on it for 1,067 episodes and counting, because she's still alive at 85 years old.
Hell yeah, queen.
Yeah, I just can't believe it. It's every time I look up actors from these shows, they're usually dead, unfortunately, and that's going to increasingly happen as time goes on. But I love to see someone still
trucking,
earning that soap opera money at this stage. She's
good for her, dude. That rules.
And she's giving it her all, and her weird overacting, I think, is perfect for a soap opera. That's it for Night Gallery, because next time we're finally looking at the Twilight Zone proper. Rod Serling will be in this to talk about the Twilight Zone in episode 1, Where Is Everybody? I am sure you remember this one, don't you?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think we're going to be able to let me guess this one because I remember this one.
We now return control of your podcatcher to you. Until next time, when the control voice takes you back to the Sci-Fright Zone.